Wakey, wakey, rise and shine, good morning to everyone. Hello everyone and welcome back in a new episode of our Minecraft series. Last episode we built our own very personal banquet hall, which we can view from here. I am quite pleased with how it turned out. I am working on adding in the custom heads plugin, but I want to check to be sure that it works as intended, and also I want to choose which heads to include, because it seems a little bit trickier than I had originally anticipated to add it in, at least to a realm. So be patient please, and we'll get our own decorative heads soon enough. In today's episode, I had originally planned on going on an exploration session, but I actually found... I got an idea. I don't want to spoil too much, but I got an idea for that. Ooh, hello. Hi. No. Really? Pale oak. No, that's the main purpose. I want to go into the pale oak biome. Ah, well, we got some pale oak. We need to put in a new chest for that. Ah, come on. Well, it's not everything. We still lack the creaking. So, let's leave it at that. We have them, so very good, but I don't want to spoil too much of that. As I was saying before, being distracted by this very bothersome wandering trader, I have some plans, but for preparing, well, we need actually to prepare for this exploration session, so I want to build something instead before. What I want to build is actually the armory of our castle, and I got a quite brilliant idea this night while I was sleeping. Look at that, there's another. I want to build it on this side instead, rather than, because we have over here we have our smithy, where we have all the smiths, and I thought to myself, why not make a tunnel that goes underneath this whole ridge and pops out on this other side, and here we can have our own armory with basically all the all the armors. We can move down there also all the smithing templates and the things like that. So the armory should be more like a storage for armors and not like a smithing place, because with the smithy we already have it. That was my rough idea, because we will be needing another set of armor, because we are going to be joined for this exploration session by a guest. Hooray! So, welcome back. So, it's been a little while. I have been working, and you can see already things changing. I had to recreate our artist villager, and actually we have now two, because our original artist Jean-Baptiste Banner vanished, unfortunately. So I made here Jean-Claude Banner, which is, oh well, I misspelled the surname. I'll have to fix that. Which is supposedly the son of Jean-Baptiste, and then his distant cousin François Charles de Village Banner. I love doing this silly stuff. We will have to keep a family ledger for these two lads. I also went ahead and did a job that I had put off for the longest time, and remodeled our old smithy into a more comfortable quarter. I wrapped in the lift for the mob farms, and here I've laid down a little abode, a little home, a little room, in place of the old smithy for our soon to be coming guest. And you can see that I have spread around all these banners here and there, although I have to still some work to do. I want, for example, to put down a pixel art of these banners onto the tower, maybe facing eastwards. Another thing that I have been working on is mapping. I've mapped out our surroundings, and believe it or not, we have the world spawn on the corner. We are in the middle of our, well, this is a level 4 map. Underneath here we have our castle, so it's very easy to reach it by sea. And here we have the mountain village with the winter wonderland here on this little mountain, although I've seen that there is another one over there. And here on top, this little green spot is actually the Dark Oak Island near the ocean monument which we have. So supposing that the ocean monument is over here, we could even think of building an iceway over to the world spawn. Theoretically, we already have something because we had connected, I believe, the iceways to the trial chamber, which is on the other hand, well, on the other side of the world spawn with respect to us. So I might even go ahead and extend this little map over to the other side, so I'm adding 3 more pieces. It took a lot to map out everything. I had to fly around with Elytra, but the end result is pretty neat. So now I have 2 things left on my to-do list. One is going to be to craft a new weapons and, well, a new set for our guest. We have this, which is the nether suit. Have the explorer suit down in the nether, and we need a new one for our guest. Okay, so it's time for a little time lapse of me actually building what I originally had intended it to be the much anticipated armory. You can see that I began by clearing out the area and then raising from the bottom up this wall. I chose as a palette deep slate and tough, very dark materials because I wanted it to be a very, let's say, menacing, strong block that crushes or, well, rises from our hill. I wanted it to stand out a lot. You can see that also, rather than going to build this structure on the, let's say, valley below, I in the end went for this build on the hillside. This is simply because I deemed the bottommost part of this area too exposed. Let's say in a castle, when building a castle and when building a fortress, to be much more clearer, the intent is to make it as resistant to an assault as possible, and basically leaving your armory in the open, so down from the hill, would render it much too vulnerable to, let's say, a hypothetical attack. Obviously, we won't be having any attacks, any siege, but it's always nice to keep this way of thought that we are living in a fortress, in an actual medieval castle, and so we have to adopt or to abide to this logic. You can see that I went, well, basically I ended up splitting the deep slate part from the tough one. I just wanted to experiment a little bit with this leveling of things, but we are not going. But still, in the end, this ended up becoming something a little bit different from the armory, but more on that in, well, back to the video. Okay, so a little time went by, and I've built actually this first outpost for basically overlooking the road to our home. And you might ask yourself, but wait, didn't you want to build the armory instead? And to that I'd answer, well, yes, but it got out of hand as per my usual. Yay! I can see here we have a nice balcony checking onto the surrounding, and I went for this very weird palette that you have already seen me build with this topmost floor made out of tuff, and then the underneath made out of deep slate and basil. I wanted to give this shack, this well, this outpost, a very sturdy and menacing feel. You can see that we have not only one floor, but even 2 and 3. Down here, you'll see something weird. So here we have our last floor, and here you can begin to see what I envisioned. Let's put it like that. Because I wanted to have an armory fit for our castle, and I started carving out the entire area. I wanted to make the tunnel connecting the forge to the, let's say, the so-called armory. But in the end, as I was digging here, I told myself, wait a minute, why not make a cave dedicated to basically the armory? And since we have this nice, let's say, junctions, you can see that, for example, here the railway is traveling through, and you have also that the door over there. Here we are farming moss slowly when we need it. And so I thought to myself, well, I could actually make use of this, and what I think I'm going to do, but not in this episode, in the next one, because this has been lasting long enough, is to just put the armors here. So basically this overhang, I'll have to polish a little bit the cave itself, but it's going to become our actual armory, which makes sense because you want to hide weapons and armor from potential invaders and who knows what. So having here like a wooden bridge coming over, and another one over on this side, and here in the middle all our precious weapons and armors and toolings and everything makes sense, at least to me. So let's meet back up to the signboard for concluding actually this episode, because I'm not going to build, as I already said, this place here in today's episode. I'll work on it off camera, polishing a little bit this cave, adding some nicer features, and obviously also adding some finishing here to this guard post, whatever you want to call it. So see you in a little bit. Here we are in front of our signboard. The sun is rising slowly, and we are concluding today's episode. So we don't have anything actually to update over here. We are still working on this very armory here, this little sign. So in the next episode, I am not quite sure if I am going to be joined by our mysterious guest for the Pale Garden exploration session. Otherwise, we will be continuing on in the deep underbelly of our castle, working on this very armory. I thank you for having followed me until this moment. Leave a like if you enjoyed today's episode, or if you are excited for the next one. and subscribe if you wish to see more like these, and do tell me in the comments or using the like button or by subscribing, however you want, if you are looking forward and if you would like to see more of this let's say format that I'm proposing, making someone join me for some of the either most menial tasks, like for example exploration is quite menial, since it just revolves around me going, well, milling around, finding stuff, and then coming back to you with the results. Maybe well, we will have to see. It's just a test that I'm going to perform, but I look very much forward to that because being two, you can do a couple of mishaps and shenanigans more than just by yourself. I've talked long enough, and I will be waiting for you as per my usual in the next episode, sometime in the future. Bye bye!